Hey everyone, John from Dumbest D&D here with you for another DM tool, and this is Dungeon Scrawl. So Dungeon Scrawl is a map making tool that's just online. It's free. There's a pro version, but there's a lot of features that you can use when it is still in the free tier. So we can go ahead and start scrawling. Before we do, wanted to show they do have a pretty nice subreddit where they show off a lot of the features, including this gigantic map. This is insane. So the detail here, yeah, zooming in, let's see if I can scroll over. Like this, for example, this area, all of this is done in Dungeon Scroll. So we'll go through today, not make anything near this detailed, but wanted to show off some of the features that it does have. Let's make a very quick 3-room dungeon that we need for a session coming up here in 20 minutes. So we're going to add a new layer, and I like this map look the best, so I'm gonna just go grab this square down here, and first room, there we go. If I want to add a small corridor, all right, even smaller room right here, and we'll do one super narrow corridor that'll then lead down to, let's go with a hexagonal room. So one of the features, you can select regular polygon. And when you do that, you can adjust the sides. Let's make it the octagon. They're going to fight Croner Magriger. I don't know. Maybe I can't think of an NPC right now. We'll go ahead and create the shape, though. I don't like that. So we're going to start from the center point. And there we go. We've got our octagon down here. If I press space, I can actually move things around pretty easily. Control Z also works, so big fan of being able to undo things that I quickly did. And honestly, like, there you go. There's the 3 quick rooms for a 3-room dungeon. We have some boss battle in here, but now everything else is just icing on the cake of being able to go in, add some images. There's a huge inventory of images in here. I have no idea how many assets there actually are. It looks like a lot. So if we continue scrolling down, you get all different sorts. You got color assets, you have black and white assets. Maybe we want a couch in here. So after or before the big fight with the BBEG, we're gonna have, just a big sofa. It's the living room of the guy that's here, and it's a little cluttered with some skulls. And so those are just hanging out behind the couch. We'll double that up a little more. Select both of those. Copy, paste. Yeah, he's just got this pile of skulls. It's probably the enemies that he has slain previously, but you are here to defeat him and rid the clutter within this dungeon. Now, any good dungeon is going to have a staircase down. And honestly, this is one area where as many times as I've played D&D, as many maps as I've looked at, I never get this right. But the way that you use the stairs here, you click an area, you drag, and then you kind of point to where you want it to go. So we'll say this is a large staircase. Now, is that up, down? Should it be the other direction? Again, this is where, I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Please help me. I have no idea what's happening right now. I want to erase some of these. So let's say we want to get rid of these squares next to the staircase. Just move to erase mode and get rid of those, get rid of those. There we go. Nice little narrow staircase. Oh, I actually want to. The symmetry is throwing me off. So I'll expand that. Sometimes you gotta overlap a little further, which is okay. And my staircase, go there. Let's widen that out. Big old staircase, 10 feet wide, that we can get through. What about doors? We want some doors. Images, you can search in here. So door. You can go with a big door, a double door, false door, one-way door, secret door. We'll save this for later. Maybe there's something that we can do with that. Double door, though, that's what we're going to toss in here to get through. And kind of a Aragorn scene of just kicking that door in after you got the baddies out of this main waiting area. We'll go with a locked door for this one. Expand that out a bit too. This is where I am not totally sure, if there are additional. Oh, it looks like there's more doors down here. Still learning. And again, it's still under development, so a lot of different things and features that are coming along the way. I'll go back to, let's use this double door. Expand that out. See that asset, it just starts to get a little choppy, a little blurry. So I'll copy this one again. Let's move this down here. You can add text as well if you want. You can also add shapes. And one of the cool things, let's see if I can remember how to do this. But with your dungeon layer, you can change to isometric somewhere in here. All right, so if you want to look at your map as an isometric map, you click on background. In isometric right here under background, you can go to isometric, and suddenly, whoop, you have your isometric map. You can also do dimetric, which I don't fully know what that means, and that's okay. I don't need to right now. But for the isometric, it just gives you a different look and feel. If you have multiple layers within your dungeon, so let's say from the octagon that we're going to fight in over here, there's a staircase that leads down. You can show that pretty easily within the isometric map. We'll move this back to off though, and go back and look at this. So I'm going to move this secret door over here and then rotate. Boom. There we go. So I won't let the players see that, but for my DM map, I would probably keep this for myself. From here, go back to the rectangular shape, select our layer. Very important to do. Whoop. Oh, Control Z. Now we see kind of an escape. So maybe this is a faster escape, or it goes up into some sort of hatch that we can go into. Maybe there's a ladder within here that I can use. Yeah, let's go ahead and just toss this down here. Rotate again. And there you go. So this is a hatch. I don't know to where. Maybe it opens into the king's court, or it is into a birthday cake for a noble. And so you are now the entertainment that's going to pop out of it. It's a whole big plan that Conor McGregor or whoever was in the octagon had, and you foiled it because you managed to get through. So a lot of different features here. I really enjoy Dungeon Scrawl. It helps me just think through things. I use Donjon quite a bit, and that auto-generates maps for you, but a thing you can do here is just export. So if we look at PDF, you can export that way. You can export a pretty large PNG file as well. So if you're doing an online game, you can export in that fashion. If you want to turn on high res, that's where it's going to take you to pro and say, all right, you got to pay $7 a month, which in reality, if you're doing this quite a bit, if you're on multiple games, multiple campaigns, it's probably worth it. If you're wanting to create custom maps, Incarnate, there's a lot of overhead. There's a lot of additional features, and you can make you can make maps that look a lot nicer. But with Dungeon Scrawl, pretty easy to just get something very basic down quickly. Think of Dyson's dodecahedron and all the maps that he does. Very similar style here. So something that you can get similar effect in a short amount of time. You can also save the file. So if we want to come back to this later, you can save the file. When you export it, it saves it to a format that you can then import later on. So if you have a map and you would like to save it and come back later, you can just save the file again, save as or save. And then over here in maps, you can go ahead and import the save. Again, it's not something that is available for normal non-paying individuals, and I say normal, but really it's just the non-paying folks. So you'll need to sign up. $7 a month. Again, I'm sure they have discounts at some point, but something to consider if you want to use Dungeon Scrawl. Otherwise, you can just recreate it over and over again, or you can export it to PNG or PDF and go from there. So again, big fan of Dungeon Scrawl. They haven't paid me to say this. It'd be great if they did, but I really like what they've got going on there. and more to come over time. The integration also has lighting effects. Again, that is for pro users. It's in beta at the time of this recording, but pretty cool if you're using Albert Rodeo, Roll20. May not be used for Albert Rodeo or available for that at the moment. So Roll20 integration directly. You can pull your maps in and start using them that way if you are a pro user. There are additional tools as well. So you can use, pretty quick and easy. Hey, I want a long tunnel down there. We can adjust the radius and say, all right, that one is not good enough. But 20, there you go. Just kind of see different sizes, and you can also have it rough, and you can adjust the roughness. So I want this to be a super craggly cave, and there you go. Going to be very tight fit in a couple of these spots. Hopefully you are a small or medium humanoid creature. You can also draw regular polygons. So if you use this tool, be careful though, when you double click, it does finish it off. And so you'll want to make sure you're watching out for that. You can just make walls. I still haven't figured out a great use for this yet, but maybe there is a good reason or use case. Sure there is. Otherwise, why would they do it? So door tool. If we want to make a really big door, that's... Okay, figured it out. So for these assets, if you want to pull in a door shape, we'll go all the way back to the beginning here. You can just draw and click right there. Right here. There you go. Boom. Done. All right. Super easy. Got different variants as well. Can go into a large door with no seemingly edges. Just blocks the way. So many doors. A door for each one. You got to go stealthily through. And yeah, that is the intended use of these doors. You can also change the roughness for each one. Super rough. Look at that. So squiggly. Very many squiggles. That bone pile stands no chance if you go through each of those doors stealthily. All right, so I know that was a bit rough, but that is Dungeon Scrawl. Honestly, I think this is probably the best quick map making tool for D&D or any TTRPG. Give it a shot and let us know how it goes. If you've got other DM tools that you'd like us to take a look at, feel free to drop those in the comments. Until next time, thanks for watching.